So this is my final conclusions about the Rode NT1 versus the TLM103. It's kind of funny that the Rode NT1 came out like 6 years ago and the TLM103 came out like 25 years ago. So literally the TLM103 is 2 decades older than the Rode NT1. And the thing is, when you listen to the Rode NT1 for spoken word from 5 to 7 kilohertz, it sounds too flat. It's slightly emphasized, but I've always hated this about the Rode NT1 by itself. You know, just listening to it as a microphone, it sounds too flat in its presence boost, especially from 5 to 7 kilohertz, where speech needs to be emphasized. So Rode had 20 years to make a microphone better than the TLM103, but that's not what they did. When you listen directly to the Rode NT1, it sounds too flat from 5 to 7 kilohertz. It sounds like it has a problem with the way that they voiced the microphone. So, and then when you switch over to the TLM103, the TLM103 is like the solution to the problem with the Rode NT1. The TLM103 accentuates 5 to 7 kilohertz. So it's like the Rode NT1 has a problem and the TLM103 has the solution. Like if you don't even look at the microphones, you just listen to the sound of both of them, A/B them. The Rode NT1 sounds like it has a problem, and the TLM103 sounds exactly like it, except it fixes the problem. So honestly, it sounds like the Rode NT1 is defective and it has a tonal problem, and the TLM103 sounds like it alleviates that tonal problem. I hope you get it. So, I mean, you can think about all this stuff for as long as you want, but when I directly compare the sound of 2 recordings using one of these microphones, A/B them, it sounds like the Rode NT1 has a tonal problem and the TLM103 fixes it. Okay? So honestly, you would assume the TLM103 came out after the Rode NT1. Why would you make a microphone that actually is voiced worse? And again, this is the problem I've had with Rode. Again, I think there's a bunch of incompetent people working at Rode who don't know how to voice a microphone properly. And they've been coming out with like the nt-5 and the Rode NT1. I've made videos about this. They deaden the speech frequencies from 5 to 7 kilohertz. They make it too flat there. They didn't have that problem with the Rode NT-G3. The Rode NT-G3 didn't have that problem. The Rode NT-G3 is kind of voiced like the TLM103. It's voiced better. It accentuates speech better. So again, I mean, the TLM103 sounds like a direct upgrade, a better, more improved version of the Rode NT1. And the end result is the NT1 sounding almost defective or just straight up worse. And the TLM103 fixes it. It's really that simple.